I mean, this with the our president. Which this with B.O.B.
The world is flat.
The world is flat.
B.
Okay.
B.
The world is flat.
B.
This for all the
Kyrie. The world is flat.
Flat.
All right, but before we begin, because I think y'all can see what we are about to discuss. We're about to have what is known as geography.
I would say
history, conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of Aristotle and Copernicus coming into play. You know, we about to figure this thing out. Oh, definitely history. You know, we may talk about Hannibal, Paris. You know, we may go somewhere. But before we even get there, welcome. You see the hard hats in the back.
Yeah. Big buildings.
The hard hats in the back, not the hard head in the back. The hard hats. Look beyond the dude in the black shirt. The hard hat. There you go. Big Buildings Network coming at you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What we build and we construct, we don't destruct. And so what we're trying to do here is make sure you subscribe to Big Buildings Network, because this is a network where we take the hottest social media topics and we bring it all together. We just we take an unbiased opinion. We look at everybody's opinion from that side to that side, the blacks against the whites, the reds against the blues, whatever. And we just get you to understand, you know, why he felt that way, why she felt that way. And we just kind of, you know, bring everybody's point home. And once again, I'm your host, you know, Hollywood KD, the King of Shade. And to my left, my boy, JG Whitworth.
That's how we
make the phone call, man. The man got the word.
Got it.
He got the word.
You need it. Got it.
Boy, let it be known. Follow him at JG Whitworth.
JG Whitworth.
Yeah. So what we about to get into today is kind of like a one had to go with the other.
Right.
Because one man said two things, and now we're just looking at this whole study. And I'm open to anybody with a theory, because thousands of years ago, there was one way of thinking. May have been a majority of ways of thinking. And so I like when they come back in, because we got all this information, and a lot of this stuff is written work by other people. But if you know how to, you know, present it and support it,
decode it,
hey, I'm all for it, because I love debating. I like to have, not argue. No, ladies, I don't like to argue. But I like good arguments. So I just want to let y'all know that. But what we're going to talk about is your boy B.O.B. B.O.B. who said probably, 8-9 months ago, along with Kyrie and a lot of other people, that the world is flat. Technically, if the world is flat and has a core, the world would have to be cubed. But anyway, he's recently said there's no evidence that slavery, and I want to say North American slavery, because that's what he specifically was talking about. North American slavery started in the 1700s, like 1620 and all that good stuff. There's no evidence that it existed. So we're going to touch on that matter, and we're going to talk about how people, just kind of went in and felt some kind of way about that. So I'm going to pass this off to JG. See what he had to say about that. Open it on up.
Me personally, before B.O.B. said this, I kind of already, said this myself. Not that slavery did not exist. Slavery existed. There was two forms of slavery. There was a slavery where you paying off a debt, or you actually done something, and it wasn't no like a jail system where it was called inmates or whatever, prisoners. It was called slaves. There was a term for it. Then the slavery for our kind came along actually not too long ago. From my information, from my sources, if you want to know, just hit us up and we'll get that to you.
Shadow slavery.
Slavery did not start, like you said, did not exist as people think. If you actually look at history and actually, it's there for you to look. If you actually look at history, you would know that slavery did not exist until not too long ago. Probably 1800s, 1800s.
What's that?
When slavery actually, when I would say traders. When
Well,
traders,
North American slave trade started like 1620, 1600.
That's all a lie. It's a lie. I agree with you. It's a lie. Slavery.
Go for it.
It didn't start to later on after maybe probably the 16th, 18th, maybe the 20th president or something like that.
Really?
Really.
All right, let's roll.
Yeah, it started.
Rock and roll.
So, with that being said, yeah, I would just give a brief. I don't want to, take up too much time because this information is like super long, probably 2-3 hours long. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I do agree, and I would just say this, that George Washington and Google, the dude who drew out Washington, D.C.
Names at the bottom.
Benjamin Banneker, Washington, D.C., the first president, Washington, D.C., and Benjamin Banneker, which is Moors and black.
Ooh, he brought up the Moors.
Google what the Moors done first. I'm just gonna give you a little timeline. Moors came to in Europe. White people, these don't be upset. We all still here. But Moors came to Europe. And you Google this. Google Mansa Musa, which was the richest man of all time.
Mansa Musa.
Which is a Moor, and he's also black. Moors came to Europe. They taught Caucasians how to actually carry themselves. They and also trained them in war because there was a war going on in the world at this time. There was a war, with us and with each other and all that. So we trained new people.
There's a war going on outside. No one is safe from. Shout out to Prodigy. It was his birthday the other day.
Oh yeah, shout out to Prodigy, man. I'm glad you mentioned that.
No, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
There's a deeper conspiracy with that. We gotta touch on that.
All right, we'll talk about it. All
right. So yeah, Europeans are probably the only people at that time, and still now have a personality where they can literally kill you and not give a damn.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? They can literally do stuff to you and not care. We needed that at the time. Well, Morris needed that for war tactics. So we trained them. You know what I'm saying? We taught them they taught them how to bathe and all of that. And then
I don't mean to cut you off. So I just want to know, are you specifically saying that the Moors didn't have that in their DNA in order to pull off that type of savage?
Yeah, that type of savage. They had in their DNA to fight, but that type of savage.
That type of savage.
That type of suicide.
They had to go out and go get
type of savage.
Woo.
To handle some business.
Okay.
If you know Europeans, these are war type people. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about war. You know what I'm saying? They fight for their country. They truly don't give a damn. Not saying that we won't. We are strong, but if you notice, black people are loving and caring no matter what you do to them. Like, for example, instead of us protesting, we should be getting revenge right now for what that happened to our people during the time. You think Europeans gonna be protesting if something that happened to their people? No. So what I'm saying is they was used as a tactic later on. This is deep right here. I'm just gonna say this and leave it right there because I don't want to go too far in it. But
this is like a part 2 or part 3.
This is gonna be a part 3.
Woo!
It's a part 2 and a part 3.
All right, it's just the introduction.
America, if you understand masonry, if you understood that, I think I'm saying it right. If you understood that in order to start a colony or something like that, you had to place a Masonic lodge.
I know where you about to go. You go.
Yeah, you got to place a Masonic lodge in one of the colonies. So Georgia was established first, and they put before it was established, it was already established in a Grand Lodge in England. The whole purpose, which they're not going to tell you, because Scottish Rite building got burnt down all of a sudden, and all the black people disappeared, and they all became European in a Grand Lodge in England. But anyway, the whole purpose of discovering the United States wasn't discovered. The whole purpose of creating the United States was to unite all. At this time, religious people didn't get along. So Christians beef with Muslims, Muslims beef with Christians, and Islam and all that stuff. They wasn't getting along. So the whole purpose of the United States was to unite a strong with each religion, each belief. So everybody, so we all could be together and fight. You know what I'm saying? When it's better when you got Chinese and whites and blacks all working together to fight off another country instead of just one race. That's why we the most powerful country now. It was all part of the plan. But slaves didn't come about to probably after like the 1800s when they traded on us.
So what was going on? What was going on to the knowledge that we think we have? What was going on prior to that, based upon your theory?
Going on what you mean,
are you saying that the slavery that we know?
Yeah.
And that's in our history books and all the beatings and the hangings and
that happened.
And the mine. Okay.
It happened.
Okay.
It most definitely happened. That slavery did exist, but what I'm saying is it just started not too long ago. That's what I'm saying. Like right after segregation, slavery, but before slavery,
segregation
of blacks and whites, where where we fighting for equal rights and stuff like that.
So you talking about segregation of the 60s or the 1800s?
In the 60s. No, let me see. Yeah, in the 60s.
1900s.
1900s,
which is 18.
Right.
Something. All right.
So no, yeah, because slavery didn't start till I got to figure out which one was like 14, 15%. Slavery didn't start till later, later after that.
So say, based upon your theory, to say George Washington, Thomas Jefferson,
they really
Madison,
didn't have slaves.
They really didn't have slaves.
They had slaves.
They didn't have slaves to the degree.
Yeah, they didn't have slaves to the degree of just black slaves with whips. There were white slaves. At this time, anybody could be a damn slave at this time.
Okay. I just want to clarify,
No, you got to do that because we freestyle this, y'all. Nothing is written. Nothing is... this is off the top. We don't pre-write. We don't do nothing. We just speak how we feel and speak what we know. But I would have to get the information. And that's why it's going to be a part... It's going to probably be like part 2, 3, and
dive in deep.
To basically go and set the timelines up for you and have everything, little presentation and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah, but from so far, pretty much, George Washington, they didn't have like just black slaves. You know what I'm saying? Even black men had black slaves too at this time, and they had white slaves also. The history is so. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You really have to just use your common sense and go and actually read deeper into it.
So you saying there was some black people getting some of that crop money?
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is history that we know.
But it wasn't capturing slaves. It was more like pay this debt off. You know what I'm saying? Pay this debt off, or you done something. Now you was a slave. Like I said, there wasn't no such thing as prisoners. Like that term.
So basically, what you're saying, and we're gonna get into this a little deeper because I just want to point this out as a bullet point.
Right.
What you're saying is the slavery in that manner, by its original definition, even that was what was going on in Africa, is paying off a debt for imprisonment, which is probably why it's still defined as that in the 13th Amendment. But what I'm saying is, once the business of slavery got a little bit too steep for a lot of costs, that's when all the, hold on, you a slave for life and your kids are my slave and such and such, because it was cost effective.
That's when the backstabbing started.
And then the backstabbing started.
That's when the...
So so what you're saying is, this history that we be getting all the time is basically what we feel is years of it, but what they're giving us is examples of something that was going on for probably 60, 70 years, not 200.
Right.
But it's like a lot of examples of it because they're giving us every example that happened all over the South.
Exactly.
And they stuck it all in one history book.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Now, my thing on that is... because that is a part too, and that is a theory to think about, and these are the things when you start putting it in some way, you start messing with people's pride and their ego and everything they learned from hardcore Brace Jovanovich, and they mama done told them this, and their grandma done told them that, so they right, and people start like not wanting to hear different theories and opinions about it, and like I said, I'm open to every theory, but my thing has always been about this. This been my thing. This always. You can go find a buccaneer ship remains, a pirate ship, You can find a Spaniard ship. You can go find a Viking ship. You can go find the Titanic, which was located below freezing water. You can go find dinosaur bones.
Tell them again.
For millions of years. Yet no one has yet to bring up and dig up a slave ship.
Exactly.
With all the people, these slave ships were big. Where did it go?
Exactly.
Like what did you do with all that wood?
Because for one, Indonesia's people was already here.
I'm just trying to figure out
in the country.
That's all I want to know. That's been my whole thing, and I'm not saying I agree with B.O.B. or not. But when you start talking about evidence of slavery, this is not to say, because people will take that to the extreme. Oh, you trying to say our history don't exist? No. All I'm saying is, and I'm not saying I even want to see that shit.
That's not even our history. First of all, people even say that. It's not our.
And that's another thing too. I think that's part 2 and 3. Yeah. Because that is diving into the propaganda of we start America in 1620 and 1776 when black civilization began long before, and it's kind of hard to crack the skull of the black mind. And I'm gonna say that because I'm black. It's kind of hard to crack the skull of the black mind to get them to see that your history and the legend of your history and your grandparents and forefathers started on a shore far beyond the coast of Brazil.
Yep.
Far beyond. But it's hard to get them to crack that. But anyway, like I'm saying, I have always just really wanted to see a historic monument. Oh, this used to be a slave ship. If I can look at that bad boy, because a slave ship right now is like the Ark, like Noah's Ark.
Yep.
It is this unicorn. It is this legend. It is like a dragon that flies and blows smoke out of mouth. There is this legend that this thing existed. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about that too. All this weight. Yeah, I saw Amistad and they were throwing them off the boat. But when you start looking at the North American slave trade, those trips weren't that long. 2, who was building these ships? I guess it took slaves to go build slave ships, right?
Right.
If you coming from Europe. So if somebody building ships this big, because historically they say slaves built the pyramids or helped build the pyramids if it wasn't for all that other stuff that I wouldn't want to get into. But at any rate, somebody had to be working to build these types of ships. There's no business that's saying my business started in Frankfurt, Germany, or whatever in Europe. And my forefathers built slave ships. Now I build big, Carnival cruise carriers. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no existence of this. So I'm just really trying to figure out, like, where are the ships? Because it had to be somebody working that did it, and it had to have like floor plans and diagrams. Like, none of this stuff is surface.
None.
I'm not saying slavery didn't exist. All I'm saying is the story of it, the propaganda of it, whoever wrote it did a fine job of getting here.
That was the whole plan. The whole plan.
He did a fine job of getting here. And I'm not talking about here because of this skin. I'm talking about here and all those skins, because that here had everyone believing that they might be a little bit more or better or supreme than you. So you listen to these theories and like we said, we just here to bring it home and make it equal on all fronts and be unbiased. But when people start saying the world is flat and people start saying, don't close your mind to that. Just open your mind. And at the end of the day, once you get all of those theories, intellectual theories, and you disagree, fine. Not a problem. It's not a problem. People argue about iPhones versus Android all the time. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? They both talk. You know what I'm saying? They both got an argument that they both are good and have great services. So that's the point we're trying to get at. But anyway, we're gonna have part 2 and part 3.
It's gonna be serious.
Where are the slave ships? That's just me.
Where are the slave ships?
Give me some blueprints or something. Peace. Now, make sure, right below, Big Building Network.
We want the shops too. We want the people who make the slave
Shop.
ships. We want those too. We want that.
Straight up. They got the blueprints in the
we need that.
They got the blueprints when they was taking black people's teeth and putting them in George Washington mouth to have fake teeth. So I'm pretty sure they got the blueprints somewhere. Come on, man.
Yeah, supposedly black people teeth.
So,
what's supposedly taken.
Taking them. The point of that is not the teeth. You know what I'm saying? Because a joker might have sold his teeth to get out of slavery. Who knows? But I'm just saying, you know, the point of it.
Yeah, I just want to point out this, man.
Go ahead.
What white dude you know will let a black dude
take his teeth?
Nah, not take his teeth.
Oh.
But that's funny though.
Can't take it.
There you go. But what white dude you know would let a black dude who was properly dressed look equal to me? What would you say? Draw up a whole state that's now considered the federal state before the White House and all that was put on this place. Who you know what I'm saying? What white racist man would do something like that?
Well, here's the thing. In this era. Oh, this was kind of going. In this era, a white racist man don't remember that dude. Mm-hmm. And this might be another topic because way back in the 1600s and 1700s, you got to understand we just 100 years, 200 years from Africans being still free, not being taken over by Europeans and all that stuff, so they say. So there's still a level of respectability for black people in that regard, like their history and their brain and their smarts. It wasn't until you start really manipulating the system and manipulating the books and you start stretching that thing out a little bit further and cutting off that history for your own people to lose that respect.
Right.
Because in the 1700s, 1600s, you probably walked up on a black dude thinking he was some kind of engineer before you thought he was a slave. Right. You probably walked up on him thinking he was some kind of mathematician before you thought he was a slave. You probably walked up on him thinking he was some kind of great agricultural dude that could build this and build that before you thought he was a slave. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That's that time. That was a far gap. That's not that far of a gap from.
It's crazy you said mathematician because that's
a great civilization to the 1700s.
That's what Benjamin Banneker was, a mathematician.
Most of the people. Wait till my boy come out. Marvel. Coming out in February. Black Panther. They tell you about the mathematician engineer. They gonna tell a whole lot of stories. But anyway, I don't want to get on that. But I'm just saying, the respectability when a white man walked up on a black dude back then had to be different. And I just feel like they had to cut that off historically. They had to really look at him. Now, it's still some who really know their history that know that.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. Because just imagine how this sounds.
They ain't going to tell everybody in Arkansas, Alabama, and all that. They ain't going to tell them. But it's a lot of them. And you got to walk that majestic life.
Exactly. Remember this question?
I'm a mathematician. 2 + 2.
They got to tell. Listen, how this question sound right here? You know, blacks wasn't nothing before they got here. Well, how did blacks get here then? We just gonna say we brought them here. We captured them as slaves. They brought them here. They got it, like you said. They gotta stretch it out and cut off that, and they're gonna add what they need because they need. You know what I'm saying? People always gonna have questions. They create their own answers. We did not come here as slaves. Period.
I'm you know what? A lot of people gonna get mad at this one, but I'm gonna just throw it out there because this just DuPontism coming through. This is my last time. You know what I'm saying?
King Shade,
this King Shade coming through. This just me. When you start cutting off the mysteries of history, and you can't figure things out, and you don't want people to know how things happen, like you stole the mask and put it over there, and it was really, you know, Imhotep, Cleopatra. You start doing all that stuff. When you start doing things like that, and you start manipulating history to make people forget things that happened, I'm gonna go so far as to say this. Maybe the reason why we can't find them big old massive slave ships that parallel what was Noah's Ark was because black people actually probably built them slave ships for something else. Mm-hmm. And they don't want the science of how that ship was built. Mm-hmm. Because and I'm only saying this not to say, oh, you trying to say black people built their own ship and sent them over. No, I'm trying to say engineers, architects, and mathematicians are only ones capable of designing things like that. And a white man is too egotistical not to let it be known if he built something like that in history. And if it did really exist, just cut it off.
Right.
Impossible.
Exactly.
So it might have been used for a slave ship. But it might have been to a point where black people in Africa or whoever they did it said, you know what? We about to start our own mass mecca of these waters and go search out this earth and land on some property like these Europeans doing. You know, and by the time they tried doing all that, you know, they probably got tired of them boats coming to see them and said, let's bring vast armies over there to see them. And they cut that off. You know, it's just a theory. I've never heard of it, but I'm throwing it out there because of the fact that it's lost. And the only time I hear about things being lost and not able to be found in history is when it's black history.
Yep. Most definitely. So I had to cut the nose off with pyramids.
That's all I'm saying.
Scottish Rite.
That's all I'm saying.
Library burned down.
It might have been a ship built for something else. It might have been a ship built to go pick them some people up. Bring them back to Africa. And go help build this abundance over here. Or over there. I'm throwing theory. You know, because I know it's a lot of people get mad. You just said black people built their own slave ships.
No, it's not.
I just said maybe black people were the only ones capable of building
like
something massive like that.
They were capable.
Exactly.
Most definitely. All you have to do is check the timelines. Like it don't. All you have to do is check the timeline. I promise you, your answers will fall right in your lap. That's all you have to do. Check the timeline.
I look like I know
Huh?
Yeah. I ain't mean to put that in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just mathematically.
That's all you have to do. Check the timeline.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. So you got anything more?
That's pretty much it.
All right. We're gonna have to go in and dissect this, and I know it's gonna be a lot of comments because we said a lot of skeptical stuff, but it's all theory, baby. And like we said, we just bring it home to bring it in.
Right.
We're not here to argue. You know, we're not here to take your opinion and make you somebody else. We're not here to see the opinions going down the timeline, y'all just bitter and better than each other. This is the only way to make ourselves great. You know.
Big buildings.
Exactly. Big buildings. That's why we build. It's your boy, King of Shade, Hollywood KD. Subscribe at Big Builder Network. I got my boy, JG, with the work. If you really want to be busy, and if you really don't want to make this the devil's playground, my boy got that work.
I got the work for you.
Keep your mind occupied. All right? Big Builder Network. Holla.